So my name is Veerpalu. I'm representing Njord law firm. Njord is represented in the three Baltic states, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, and also in Denmark, which is one of the Scandinavian countries. We are a traditional business law firm. Our history goes back to 1872, but the law firm where I work in Estonia was set up in the early 2000s. So my focus in the company is on M&A and transactions that have to do with venture capital, private equity, startups, but I also am dealing a lot with technology law, and this transition was related to exactly the fact that startups are very much sort of taking over the tech industry in Estonia. I'm also teaching at the IT Law Master's Program at the University of Tartu and doing my own PhD. Researching blockchain technology regulation, supervising the tech startup Legal Clinic, and co-hosting and organizing a global movement of legal hackers. Estonia itself developed into this startup economy and startup community. And I think a lot of startup lawyers were actually the past M&A lawyers, so transaction lawyers who moved into the space of private equity or venture capital transactions, which is investment into the startups. And this is the logic why it happened. And as there is the highest ratio of startups per capita in Estonia, and there's a lot of money that is invested into these startups. Of course, a lot of them fail, but there's also a lot of very good examples, like Skype is actually from Estonia, TransferWise, UK fintech companies also from Estonia. So there's a lot of good examples of Estonian unicorns at the moment. Something that is known maybe for Taxify, but now Bolt is also operating on the Austrian market, is also from Estonia. Okay, I think the next generation has to pay attention also to the fact how we got into this space where we are now. So it's not that they have to take for granted that everything was digitalized, and it has always been so. No, it hasn't. It was also all constructed step by step, and to understand how the infrastructure and architecture of the internet is, for example, how apps are actually built on top of layers that are there at the bottom. All of this is sort of knowledge that they should also obtain. And part of this is what we teach at the IT Law Master's Program at the University of Tartu, and where this legal clinic also operates. So the young lawyer, perhaps coming from an age where Instagram and everything is at your in your paw on your phone, has to also understand the components or the puzzle pieces that are behind this app in order to actually give legal advice to all of these owners of the IPR, all of these users of these softwares and platforms and services. In order to understand the business model, you need to understand how it works and what it depends on, and then you can consult the entity much better. So let's put it this way, that in this abundance of information that is out there, it is much more difficult for the young person who is coming out of law school to understand both the law that applies to it and also the technology and the business models that sort of come from the practical side, and then be able to consult anyone. Because without that knowledge, you are just a theoretician. You don't really are able to provide any value to the clients you consult. Well, part of my presentation was also how this all came about, and it started actually really early on, since the beginning of our re-independence in the 1990s. So Estonia decided that we're going to go onto the route of complete computerization and access to internet was really key part of it. But it just happened that Estonia's re-independence was at the same time when the digital revolution sort of started to peak. So in the early 1990s, and with the coming of the World Wide Web, it was just perfect timing for Estonia to sort of open up to this possibility of becoming a digitalized nation. And because we were restoring national heritage, we were restoring information about our citizens, about property, about ownership. This all required that we make the registries actually, every data in it, we make it true and we make it secure. And this is how it all sort of developed into what it is now, that Estonia's population likes to vote online, that you do all your tax declarations online, you use online banking, you consume online media, everything is online and digital on your fingertips, available to you, but the physical world is sort of withdrawing from the rural areas, and everything is turning more accessible online, but less accessible in the physical world.